Live from ABC News headquarters in New York City, it's Sunday. Good morning, America.
And we do say Good Morning America on this Sunday. The biggest WNBA fan I know, Rhiannon, is back here at the desk this morning.
You know I stayed up late watching, right?
I know you did. Of
Yes.
course you did. And we're going to have overnight that WNBA All-Star game. We're going to have all that from overnight between Team Spoon and Team Coop. Highlights ahead here. But we also, of course, have a lot of news to get to here, including protests and the calls for justice following a deadly police shooting in Wisconsin.
Also ahead, we're going to talk about what's in store this week as the Federal Reserve will make another interest rate decision with gas prices on the rise as well as mortgage rates.
That's right, but we are going to begin here with that horrible scene in Germany as police say a van plowed into a pride parade in Berlin. One person killed, more than a dozen others injured. ABC News foreign correspondent Britt Clennett has the latest now. Britt, good morning.
Good morning, Gio. Yeah, a massive search is underway now in Berlin to find one or more people suspected of attacking a crowd at a pride event in the middle of the city. One person killed, several still fighting for their lives. This morning, an intense manhunt underway in Germany. Police say they know who plowed a van into the dense crowd at one of Europe's biggest pride celebrations, killing at least one person, injuring 16 others, several with life-threatening injuries. Hundreds of thousands packed the streets of Berlin for Christopher Street Day. 80 floats, hours of music, and 2,200 police on duty tasked with keeping it safe. But just before 10 last night, police say a white van sped through Tiergarten Park, right alongside the parade route, slamming into people before hitting a tree. The driver and maybe others running off. Ambulances rushing to the scene, witnesses telling police not all victims were hit by the van, some were stabbed. Berlin police say the 21-year-old suspect is known to them. Investigators have not shared a possible motive, but say he has ties to local Islamist groups. Berlin's mayor saying this is an attack on our free and cosmopolitan society. Now, just last week, Germany actually raised the security alert to high, warning that plans to attack the country were clearly discernible. And on that search underway, police are using helicopters, thermal imaging at night, and police are advising the public not to approach the suspects as they may be armed and dangerous, Gio.
Just an awful scene there. Britt Clennett, thank you for your reporting. Now to the wildfires that have forced more than 300,000 people from their homes in southern Europe at the height of the summer tourist season. ABC News foreign correspondent Marcus Moore has been following this and joins us now with the latest. Marcus, good morning.
Oh, Gio, good morning. For parts of the region, this situation has only gotten worse, with some of these fires growing in size and new mass evacuations overnight.
This morning, wildfires raging in Spain and France turning deadly and forcing more than 300,000 people to evacuate. High temperatures, strong winds, and drought conditions fueling the fast-moving flames. In central Spain, more than 70,000 people fleeing what local officials have called the worst fires they have ever seen. A wildfire burning northwest of Valencia, Spain, claiming the life of a 78-year-old man. That fire now under control. And in France, more than 200,000 people evacuating in Gironde as wildfires burn more than 100,000 acres, an area 3 times the size of Paris. Workers at a nearby nursing home rushing residents away for their safety. Bordeaux, the heart of France's famed wine country and a popular tourist destination, cleared out by approaching flames. Americans Tammy and Brendan Hutchinson, living in a suburb of Bordeaux, among the evacuees.
It escalated pretty quickly. You could see the wind shift and it really got thick smoke, and it was real, a lot of ash falling out of the sky.
More firefighters arriving as they evacuated.
When we were leaving Bordeaux, there were caravans of fire trucks and military. They are sending in reinforcements from Paris.
Tour de France race officials say they will shorten the distance by a third on the last day so police can be diverted to assist regions in flames.
These are truly extreme conditions that are helping to fuel these flames so intense the fires create their own wind and move rapidly across the terrain. And that's what's made the fire burning near Bordeaux so dangerous and tricky to get ahead of. Rhiannon.
Our thoughts with everyone out there. Thank you so much for that, Marcus. Now we turn to the war with Iran as Israel's leader heads to the U.S. this week with the White House considering a new expansion of military force against Tehran. ABC's Matt Rivers is in Jordan with the latest.
Rhiannon, good morning. It does seem that there is a clear pause in the fighting after no attacks from either side for the past 2 days or so, and yet the question is, what happens next?
A brief lull for now. After 2 weeks of trading lethal strikes back and forth overnight, U.S. and Iranian weapons were quiet. but tensions remain high in the region. U.S. Central Command saying it boarded a ship Sunday in the Arabian Sea on suspicion of violating the U.S. blockade of Iran, before ultimately letting that ship go. And in the nearby Red Sea, the Houthi rebels, Iran's proxy group in Yemen, opening up a new front, targeting Saudi oil exports, claiming they hit state-run oil operations in the Saudi kingdom. This week, declaring a maritime blockade on Saudi-linked shipping in the Red Sea's Bab el-Mandeb Strait, a vital trade route. Saudi Arabia releasing this video of what it says are their patrols, the Saudi military carrying out attacks of its own on Houthi targets inside Yemen. President Trump meeting with his national security team on Friday to discuss next steps, saying this week he's considering a massive attack on Iran.
There's two ways. I mean, it's you can just keep doing exactly what we're doing and take them apart piece by piece. We can do it in a more rapid fashion, which we might do, or we can negotiate with them, which we're also doing right now.
This all comes just days before Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu heads to the White House Tuesday to meet with President Trump. Their first face-to-face since his February visit, where he argued for the joint U.S.-Israeli attacks on Iran days before the start of the war.
So just how much we should read into this pause in the fighting remains unclear, but what is completely clear is that this entire region remains on edge. Gio?
All right, Matt Rivers, thank you so much for your reporting there. And also in Amman this morning is ABC's Martha Raddatz, who's going to be hosting This Week Later here on ABC. Martha, it is good to see you there. How likely is it that the U.S. will launch a massive attack against Iran, and what would that even look like?
Well, I think at this point, Gio, we're hearing reports, the New York Times is reporting that President Trump is not going to have any sort of escalation or a massive attack like that. The White House is, of course, saying nothing about that other than that all options remain on the table, but that the president prefers diplomacy. So there's really no clear strategy here. As you know, they've just been trading hostilities day after day, a pause in the last couple of days, but it is unclear what comes next. Again, the president making those threats for weeks, threatening Iran with a massive attack and something new and something that would change the calculus here. But it looks like at this point, the president, according to those reports, may be backing off that idea at this point, depending on diplomacy, which frankly has not worked before. They had that ceasefire, and of course, that fell apart, Gio.
The stakes are high, so there's a lot to watch there. But Martha, let's turn to politics, because what are you hearing now from the Trump administration officials about how concerned they are about the midterm elections a little over 3 months away now?
Well, they're concerned, and more concerned are Republicans who are running for office in these key states. The midterms, 100 days away is all, Gio, and they are looking at these races, and they know what is on the minds of the American people. The American people largely disapprove of how President Trump is handling this war, and they are very worried about the economy. And as you know, those gas prices are going up. So 100% there's concern, Gio.
100 days away, and our powerhouse political team, of course, will be following it all. Martha Raddatz, thank you so much. And tune into This Week Later. Martha, of course, reports from Jordan and speaks with Democratic Senator Chris Van Hollen and Republican Representative Mike Turner. Rhiannon?
Gio, we turn to Maine now. Democrats now have a new Senate nominee. Troy Jackson, a lawyer and veteran state politician, will challenge Republican Susan Collins. He was chosen Saturday in a special Democratic convention, and ABC's Christian Cordero has been following this. Good morning, Christian. What does this all mean?
Hey there, Rhiannon. Good morning. So Democrats consider Maine a must-win state to take control of the Senate, and they now have their candidate, yes, with exactly 100 days to go. Longtime state politician and fifth-generation lawyer Troy Jackson won the overwhelming majority of delegates at a first-of-its-kind convention Saturday. He became the nominee after the primary winner, Graham Plattner, dropped out of the race amid a sexual assault allegation from an ex-girlfriend, which he denies. Jackson is considered a progressive populist, campaigning on issues like Medicare for all and tax cuts for the working class. Among the voters he's bringing into his pitch, those who supported Plattner and now feel left out.
They're frustrated, and I get that. I've been frustrated by politics a lot in my life. What I'm trying to do is make sure that they realize that this is about those issues that we all care about, and that this campaign is not about me, it's not about Graham, it's way bigger.
To win in November, Jackson needs to defeat 5-term Senator Susan Collins, who says Jackson is too progressive for Maine. The race is one of at least 4 seats Democrats need to flip nationwide to control the Senate. Gio.
That's right, a consequential seat for Democrats. Christiane Cordero, thank you so much. President Trump is ordering the installation of signs outside the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History, questioning the accuracy of some exhibits. Trump's order follows a report from his Domestic Policy Council claiming that the museum and Smithsonian leaders don't tell history in a way that is inspiring and unifying. No comment from Smithsonian officials. Rhiannon.
Gio, now to the protests rocking Madison, Wisconsin after a fatal police shooting on Wednesday. ABC's Ike Ejiochi has the latest on a family calling for justice. Good morning, Ike.
Good morning, Rhiannon. This morning, Madison, Wisconsin is a city on edge. Police there shot and killed a 38-year-old father, and this morning his family is demanding that officer be charged. And we warn you, what you're about to see may be disturbing to watch. This morning, anger boiling over in the streets of Madison, Wisconsin, after 38-year-old Corey Ruiz was shot and killed by police at a busy intersection on the city's Near East Side. His mother breaking down at an emotional news conference.
He was my love. He loved his daughter. He loved his family. He did not deserve to be taken out like that. They took my baby from me.
Police say it started Wednesday afternoon with a call about a man allegedly checking the doors of parked cars. Officers spotted him, but police say he took off on a bike. They caught up with him roughly a half hour later. ABC News compiled the available video to break down what happened next. Here, Ruiz coming off that bike as 4 officers tried to arrest him. Police say he pulled a fixed blade knife. Officers try a stun gun. Police say it didn't work. The struggle continues, Ruiz ending up on the ground on his side, then 3 shots. He died at the hospital. Police say the officer who fired was injured by that knife. None of the officers were wearing body cameras. The department doesn't require its officers to use them. All 4 officers are now on administrative leave. The State Justice Department investigating this as a homicide. And this morning, the family, joined by attorney Ben Crump, is demanding charges.
I wish I could see him one more time. I wish he could tell me how much he loves me one more time.
And this morning, that memorial at the intersection is still growing. 2 blocks from his daughter's home and 2 blocks from the school she'll walk to this fall. Rhiannon?
Yeah, your heart just breaks for that family. We turn now to the rising cost of borrowing to buy a home and what we're likely to see this week from the Federal Reserve due to make another decision on interest rates. ABC's Rena Roy is here with details on that. Good morning, Rena. A lot of people are going to be watching this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Good morning, guys. All eyes are on the Federal Reserve this week as policymakers wrestle with high borrowing costs and new concerns that rising oil prices could keep inflation hotter for longer. So the big question, will the Fed change interest rates? Most economists say no, instead expecting the central bank to hold its benchmark rate steady, even as the Iran war pushes oil prices higher. Look, higher energy prices can eventually show up everywhere, from the gas pump to shipping to jet fuel and even store shelves, complicating the Fed's fight over inflation. All of this uncertainty is also having an impact on the housing market. New numbers from Freddie Mac show the average rate on a 30-year fixed mortgage ticked up to 6.58% this week from 6.55% last week. So it is another sign that even if the Fed does not raise rates this week, mortgage rates don't automatically fall.
So you mentioned those oil prices that continue to get even higher. Is there a real chance that the Fed could actually raise rates?
Yeah, certainly always a possibility. But right now, it is not what most economists and Wall Street expect. The broader expectation is the Fed holds steady while watching to see whether higher energy prices start spilling into core inflation, meaning there is a chance we could see a rate hike later this year. Guys.
All right, Rena, thank you for breaking that down. We'll have to watch and see what happens.
Absolutely.
We turn now to those massive lottery jackpots building and building. Yes, $600 million, the Powerball drawing overnight, and a Mega Millions prize approaching the $1 billion mark for Tuesday's drawing. ABC's Will Gans is here with more. So, Will, I guess you haven't won yet since you're here this morning.
Hey, I would come in just to hang out with you, Rhiannon.
And rub it in our face.
That's right. That's really really why I would be here. But are you guys feeling lucky? Because there are not one, but two massive jackpots up for grabs after no winner in Friday's Mega Millions and last night's Powerball drawings. Soon, someone will be taking home some record prizes. The Mega Millions jackpot now at $800 million. That's the 10th highest of all time. And a winning Powerball ticket would put an estimated $633 million in your pocket. But if you won both, well, then you're looking at a possible $1.4 billion payday with a B. Now, there is some controversy here, actually. For the first time, Brits, as in people from Britain, can get into the Powerball game, and not all of their American cousins are pleased. After all, one of Powerball's most famous taglines is, "It's America's game." So, some stateside lottery lovers say the extra overseas sales will make it even harder to win. The odds are already at 292 million, 1 in 292 million. But of course, more players means a bigger jackpot. So you win some, you lose some, I guess. But you've got to be in this to win it. The next Powerball drawing is tomorrow, and Mega Millions is on Tuesday, so get your tickets. And y'all, this is America's 250th Independence Day anniversary from Britain, so I think the presents should probably be divvied up accordingly. I don't know, I am wearing my American flag tie today for a reason.
Oh, I like it. Well, you know what, Will? I certainly hope you see all those zeros in your lifetime.
Thank you.
Yes.
I don't really know what that...
Will you share it with us?
Is there a double entendre there? A lot of zeros?
Whatever you take from it.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, time now for the weather. And Samara Theodore. And oh, yeah, you see that right there? All that heat, Samara.
Yeah, we got a lot of zeros behind the ones today, and it's feeling like the triple digits for a lot of folks. Let's go to take a look. This is Council Bluffs, Iowa. And you're like, Samara, but it says Omaha, Nebraska. Well, that's because if you look across there, that's Omaha, Nebraska. Yesterday, 102 degrees. Today, we're going to go for 103. How about it? Extreme heat is plaguing much of the lower 48 from Glasgow and Billings all the way down to Oklahoma City and Jackson. Extreme heat warnings if you live in Hot Pink, Sioux Falls, Des Moines, Kearney, Kansas City there. Orange means a heat advisory. It all means hot. Here's a look at what you can expect, the forecasted highs. These are actual numbers we're talking. 98 in Billings Monday, could be a potential record breaker as well on Tuesday, triple digits. Denver, 98 degrees. Amarillo, 104 degrees on Tuesday. Hazy, hot, and humid in the days to come. It's going to feel like the triple digits for places like Memphis and St. Louis. So I can't stress enough, staying cool and staying hydrated.
The WNBA All-Star Game overnight, record crowds on hand to watch some really fantastic shot making. It was really fun to watch. ABC's Morgan Norwood is here with all the highlights. We had Caitlin Clark shooting those logo threes, and then we had Jonquel Jones as the MVP.
Look at her showing off.
Yes, what a night. I know we were talking about it in hair and makeup. You stayed up to watch, and if you didn't, boy, you missed out. If you're looking for a snapshot of women's basketball right now, Saturday night in Chicago was it. Nearly 20,000 fans packed the United Center as Team Spoon, named after WNBA legend Teresa Weatherspoon, put on an offensive clinic, beating Team Coop, named after longtime Houston Comets GM Cynthia Cooper, by 129 to 122. That'd be a high-scoring game there. There was no shortage of highlights either. Caitlin Clark burying 5 three-pointers. 20-year-old Dominique Malonga threw down the first WNBA All-Star game dunk in 4 years. And then Courtney Williams, she brought the vibe. She kept the dance party going. But the biggest honor belonged to Jonquel Jones. She finished with 22 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists to win All-Star MVP, and then emotionally dedicated the award, as you hear there, to her late aunt. And as the WNBA marked its 30th anniversary, there's just plenty to celebrate. From record ratings and sellout crowds to bigger paydays, the momentum just keeps growing. The league now takes a brief break before the second half of the season kicks off on Tuesday. Tips off on Tuesday.
Yes. Really? Oh, it was so much fun to watch. 129 to 122. So that score's so high because they, of course, weren't really playing defense because no one wants to get hurt in the All-Star game.
It was put on a master class of offense.
And those human stories, I love that you highlighted that, Morgan. Thank you so much.